Israel, there was a very powerful rabbi, and Carolyn Mace, we were there with Carolyn Mace, and it was an extremely powerful sacred trip. And she invited this guy to show us different things. And the Hebrew alphabet, he would literally tone a letter through a little horn down on the sand. And in the sand, it would move and vibrate and form the letter in Hebrew. Wow. It was the most fascinating thing I've ever seen. And he did it with every one of the vowels and consonants in the Hebrew alphabet, and every one of them formed a form that he had in a book that showed all these different things. And it was through his voice and intonation, through this instrument, that it formed these things. And I was very impressed, to say the least. And this was before I even started toning. No, I'd done toning, but I hadn't did the high-pitched toning. And so it was fascinating because it does create geometric form in sand, in water, in the air, and in fire. You can do it in all of these. And when you do it in the etherics, it creates energy and geometric forms also.
Just real quickly again, this is like my topic, so.
Yeah.
So Dr. Mitchell Gaynor, who's the head oncologist at Cornell Cancer Institute, has done over 2 decades of research on sound. And we are, like he was just saying, our brain 90% water, our body is 70%. And yes, and sound affects water. So what the yogis, the gong was actually designed by the yogis to replicate the internal sound that they hear in higher states of consciousness, which is the universal sound of Om. And when they did they took pancreatic cancer cells and healthy cells and put them under a microscope, and they played the gong, and they watched the healthy cells become more uniform, and they actually became the shape of the flower of life. And the disease cells became so sporadic that eventually the cell walls disintegrated and they exploded. That's sound.
There's our medicine of the future.
Yeah.
You're a leader.
Sound is so important in healing.
When I play the Tibetan bowls, I demonstrate sometimes. I put fill one with half water. I fill one half with water, and when I sing that bowl, it begins to. You can see right where the mallet is creating the most sound, that it creates the shape of the flower of life in the water, and then it begins to bubble up, almost like it's boiling. It just begins to all this water is.
And it's visual.
It's visual. Yeah,
wow.
You can see it right in the water. All these little sound waves start to happen, and then pretty soon you can see the shape of the flower of life, and then it bubbles.
Yeah, fascinating stuff.
We're a lot of water.
Yeah. And what does this have to do with clairsentience? It is, clairaudience. The sound waves are very powerful in altering our chemistry, our minds, our bodies, and even healing our bodies. So I really want you to read through the entire first part, but I'm kind of focusing on this last part because it is so powerful to help your bodies heal. And so getting up and, you know, in the Hindu Sanskrit seed syllables, the Lam is the middle C, and it's the root chakra. And so you basically can, you know, just go Lam, and it's very healing for that chakra. And then you do Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, and just go through those different notes and hit them, and they will actually balance your chakras as you do that. You know, it'll help them to turn better. If they're going counterclockwise, it'll bring them around to going clockwise. And
how do these tie in with the octaves in music?
Octaves is, you know, there's 13 different notes, basically. Actually there's 12, because the 13th is the next one up.
Yeah.
So there's 5 sharps or flats, however you want to say it, and then there's the 7 notes, and then you hit the 8th and it's an octave. You know, and the in-between ones are the sharps and flats. Now, when you look at those, they're all very powerful for different notes. Like, you know, C is the root chakra.
Well, that's what I'm looking
And
at.
at
here.
middle
That's why I'm
C is the
curious.
best note for the root chakra. And then, you know, you go on up. C, D, E, F. And this bowl is an F for the heart chakra. And then, you know, G, and then A, B. And we actually have other chakras that are important that are the 5 sharps or flats, however you want to say it. And those are in between. Like the navel would be what? You've got C,
Halfway, yeah.
B, B sharp would be the navel.
I see.
Or C flat, you know. Go ahead.
Wow.
My favorite subject between chakras and sound. So Jonathan Goldman has a wonderful audio CD that takes you through every one of these sounds. And it has the fire, you can hear the fire, it has the drumming in the beginning for the earth and the root chakra, and then it has the fire, it goes through all the elements, and then all these chants are happening at the same time too.
Yeah.
And it's very beautiful. And it's 8 minutes per chakra. So we've got 7 chakras, so it's about a 50-minute meditation that you can do. And then also through the Oneness University, they have on Vimeo a video that takes about 20 minutes, and it has all the colors, and it goes through each chakra. It shows you the color, and it's doing all of the
Yeah,
sounds.
colors and sounds, same thing, I mean, different names.
And it's 5,000 years old.
Wow.
And it's called Chakra Dhyana, and it's all about activating the Kundalini. So after you have toned that chakra for 7 times, that particular tone, then you visualize golden light coming into it. You sing a particular ancient Sanskrit mantra to bring in the Kundalini energy.
Yeah.
And it just takes you higher and higher to the top.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, it is very, very powerful. It's really activated Kundalini in me. And the other thing I found, it's a wonderful way for me to get back to sleep. I wake up in the night, can't get back to sleep. If I sit up and do this meditation, when I'm over, I'm so relaxed. I'm so balanced.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The sounds are so powerful. I listened to a healing sounds from a guy by the last name of Isom, and at night, if I can't go back to sleep, I'll click that on, and it just puts me right back to sleep, and it feels so good. And it's been very healing also. Now, opening up the chakras, you can use different chakra meditations called mudras, and you use special hand positions to open the chakras. The mudras have power to send more energy to particular chakras, and I'd like to go through those. Those are on the very last page. And to enhance the effect, sounds are chanted, and these sounds come from Sanskrit letters. And when chanted, they cause a resonation within your body that you can feel at that chakra they are meant for. And the pronunciation, the ah is pronounced ah, m is pronounced mg, and then you do the meditation for 7 to 8 breaths. Now, the reason I want to do this with you is because this is very, very healing for the body and for your chakras. When our spiritual body is healthy and the chakras are healthy, we get healthy, you know, because we form everything in the spirit first. And so let's open up our root chakras. Now, what I want you to do is just kind of let the tips of your thumb and index finger touch. So you put your thumb and your index finger together and have your hands faced upward, and you concentrate on your root chakra at the spot between the genitals and the anus. It's the tailbone where I focus, which is just back of the anus, and you chant the sound LAM. So let's do that. LAM. Now remember, they do the M as a N-G, so LAM. Okay, so that is very good for opening up the root chakra. Now let's go to the next one. You basically put your palms up on top of each other. Okay, palms up, left hand underneath, so its palm touching the back of the fingers of the right hand. The tips of the thumbs touch gently. So you're kind of holding your hands like this and touch your thumbs gently together. And then you concentrate on the sacral chakra, at the sacral bone on the lower back, and you chant the sound VAM. So VAM. So you get that G in there, you know. Kind of an interesting thing. Let's do it again. You can join with me. VAM. So that's the sacral plexus. And then the next one is the solar plexus. You put your hands before your stomach, slightly below your solar plexus. So the solar plexus is defined as being about 2 finger breadths above the navel. And so put them right, you know, just above your navel. And for the solar plexus, you cross your thumbs and let the fingers join at the tops. So you take and you cross, and pointing away from you, and you cross the thumbs. And it's important to straighten the fingers as much as possible and concentrate just so you're just above the navel, but you're actually on the navel in the middle. And so it's important to keep your fingers straight, concentrate on that navel chakra, and a bit above the level of the navel. And you chant the sound RAM, RAM, RAM. So get that G in there, so let's do that again. RAM. That's the solar plexus. So opening up the heart chakra, you sit cross-legged and let the tips of your index finger and your thumb touch. Put your left hand on your left knee and your right hand on the front of the lower part of your breastbone. So I guess if we did this right, I'll get down here and sit cross-legged and put your left hand on your left knee, and the tips of your index finger and your thumb are touching. And then you put your right hand in front of the lower part of your breastbone, so it's a bit above the solar plexus, so right about in here. And you concentrate on the heart chakra, the spine with it, and level with the heart. You chant YAM, YAM. You can also do SAM, SAM. So that's kind of an interesting one. And then the throat chakra, you cross the fingers on the inside of your hands without the thumbs. So you kind of cross them without the thumbs, and then you let the thumbs touch at the tops and pull them slightly up. And I would put it at the base of the throat right here. And so with this one, you do hum. Hum. always get that, the M is a HNG, which is kind of interesting. And that, the G I've found really helps resonate the tissues really well. It puts more of a grrr into it, you know. So, let's see, is it hum? Yep, hum. Hum. Can you feel that grrr going on? It's kind of interesting. Now the third eye, you put your hands before the lower part of your breast. So put your hands before the lower part of your chest. The middle fingers are straight and touch at the tops, pointing forward. The other fingers are bended and touch at the upper two phalanges or fingers. The thumbs point towards you and touch at the tops. So you point your thumbs towards you, and then you point your middle fingers straight and at the tops pointing forward. And you concentrate on the third eye, slightly above the point between the eyebrows. So you can actually bring this right up on your brow and do it right here, and you chant Om or Om. So let's do the Om. Let's do an Om. Boy, that's kind of difficult doing that, isn't it? But it does hit those chakras hard. Now, let's do the crown chakra. So you put your hands before your stomach. Let the ring fingers point up, touching at their tops. Cross the rest of your fingers with the left thumb underneath the right, and concentrate on the crown chakra at the top of your head, and chant the sound ng. So passages doing some stuff. Kind of interesting. So anyway, kind of an interesting little practice. I don't normally do this because I do other things, and you can do whatever you feel guided to do. Now, one of the things that I really feel is important is let's concentrate on our Clair audience, and basically just what I want you to do is I want you to focus on this fifth chakra, and I want you to ask the question, am I doing what God wants me to do? Or am I doing what the God within me wants me to do? Just ask that question, and you will hear either a no or a yes. So ask the question, am I doing what God wants me to do? Now if you hear a yes, great. You know, you're doing what God wants you to do. If you hear a no, you need to reevaluate what's going on with you. So did everybody hear an answer? Or did nobody hear an answer? I heard a big yes, so I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
I heard an answer, but it wasn't no or yes, it was sort of.
Sort of. Well, that's okay. That's okay.
I was standing